I have a book here called Astronomy. In this book at the beginning it says they thought that the Earth was the center of the universe, but now they think it's the sun the center of the universe. Why do some call it the center of the universe, the other call it our solar system? What do I believe? Does it make a difference what I believe? Or does my hypothesis of what the reason is for my disbelief? Like I told you, we are a universe, but we're broken up. We're not all one. One part is the solar system, the core of the universe, the core, the totality of all the planets and all the space. It's the core, okay? That's number one. Number two, we're broken up. The question is, in how many pieces? How will a tricylindrical run broken up into how many pieces? I ask you the same question. How should I know any better than you? I only came up with the hypothesis and the thought that I believe I'm right. For some reason, why do I believe I'm right? I'm going to give you a few examples, but nothing we can fact find. When I first started this whole thing 6 years ago, couldn't figure out why I was doing it. But in the last year, coincidence after coincidence of something I have done has showed up in some piece of art, in some writing. I've discovered it somewhere. It was already real, but now I discovered that my thinking was right on. Designs I've made, I've seen other places. Explanations the same. Numbers. Why they say the numbers are no good and don't play with the Ouija board. I mean, that's only if you believe there's something higher up. But this book over here on this page, if you look in the back of the brick, it says CASI on one side and then backwards CASI. What is Cassie? This is the Kepler who apparently discovered, John Kepler was a German astronomer who discovered the basic rule above the way the planets move. Move a cow. Why do we move the cows? The moon. The chicken clucks. The sounds are supposed to be a reminder for us to think in a certain fashion. And what happens? It comes out of music, and we hear it in music. But when it comes from the animals, it's just animal sounds. Dr. Seuss talked to the animals. Well, don't you think we can talk to the animals without talking? I don't even have to see the cow. And the cow could be saying, moo. Then he said, no. Does the word go any further? I don't want anything to do with the cow right now before he utters twice with 4 tits. You know, 4 legs. How he goes to the... It's very important on how somebody goes to the bathroom and what comes out. Did you know that? You didn't know that, eh? Where do you think they take all those samples from? You know what I'm saying? They don't only take it out of the urine. Yeah. Where it goes in and where it goes out. Study the both ends and you'll see how your organs work in between. Well, it's not that easy. It's scientific. I don't know anything about science at all, besides the science that I have in my mind. My mind is on one track. It wants to evolve. That's it. That's all. It's a good track, no? I'm not sniffing a track. What train do you want to be on? When you play Monopoly, the tracks are not so bad. At least you're safe. And the rent is always the same. You always pay the same thing on the trains. It's cheap on the trains in Monopoly, isn't it? Something about the trains. Training wheels, train tracks, to train someone, to bring them to the training park. Training camp. Am I all over the place? Of course. That's why I'm MrTacpans's. Otherwise, I'd be Watson. No? No, not me. Anyways, this gentleman that I showed you, Kepler, he's got a fox on his stomach. The fox is orange, where it represents this world. It's yellow, as the soul spirit, which is, it's still hard to understand what a soul spirit is, but it's that knowledge the soul has. What I believe the soul is a part of is that I think in the laboratory before we were made, they took pieces and parts of animals that were born from this earth. And they worked only on the mind. They didn't work on anything else. I mean, now we're working on the heart and everything else, but we're not working on the mind, are we? Okay? And I don't know how they do it, but they pulled out whatever it was from animals, and we have it. We have that instinct. How big? You see the animals going out and killing for no reason at all. They kill, they eat. It's done. We go out, we kill, we have to clean up. Everything is cleaning up and everything is coming out the back end. The garbage can is the first thing you find on your computer in the top left-hand corner before anything starts. You want to clean up, you want to defragment, you want to this. This is the way life is. It's the same thing. We have to defragment it. It's the same as the computer. It's the same as the universe. What do I know about the universe? Whatever my mind tells me is what my business knows. Now the truth inside a hypothesis is very small to none. There is no truth in the hypothesis. The only truth is that the hypothesis is I-S, birth, spirit, a creation of something. I got to use my numbers there, right? Oh, that was funny. Hey, I'm not showing the 72. Very important. Because 286 would be something completely different. It would just mean the two worlds that man is in. And that's not a good sign, 286, actually. You know what I'm saying? That's like near death. I don't know why, but that's what it is. Man is in of one heaven, of the second heaven. That doesn't work out that, because 258, you know what 258 is, right? 258 is you go at. Anyways, yeah, so I just wrote a little something down here. Again, what happened, man? Did Jupiter cause the war? War happened before Jupiter was discovered. Is that not correct? Because what was the big beef between astronomers that brought the difference between the two men? Was it Jupiter? Okay, as it all began in the stars, it all shall end in the twilight of the night. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how stupid and foolish all men are. CIA, creation, birth, angels. UC 110, 10% more of the brain, 110. 2 decks of cards, still in the pack. 108, well, both. You go to the CB and you check up what 108 is. 108 is 2 decks of cards out of the pack. God must rebreed. I'm reading you out of my book. Why must God rebreed? He must continuously change the format he is in. Okay? Now, the reason for that is because you cannot regenerate a complete format of a human being. Because once you come down to the last formation to make a format, you come to the spirit. Okay? And you can't separate the spirit connection because you die. So that's why he can't formate this body. In fact, will he be able to regenerate? I don't know how it'll work, but you have to detach and reattach everything. And once you detach the spirit, the body goes. So we can't let you live for 300 years because there are certain things in our system that have to be changed. In order to change that, the spirit connection has to be changed. So what do we think is up there? What is God's thing this time for man? To recreate a new cell. I call it the super train, okay, 55. What is this new cell? You can't see it, it's so small. It's a shimmering light, how it began in the astronomer's night. This cell is a loosely, okay? It sticks and it regrows to anything and everything it wants. It's pre-programmed and it programs itself, okay? And no matter what it does all the time, it can never kill you because otherwise it knows it dies. And it can never break away from you because he knows your life. And your life and his are now the DNA intertwined. It became one. Now it lives forever. The bodies we have can now regenerate completely. We can stay young forever. The fountain they used is in a cell. I call the super train droplet. Okay? Why 55? Because when you undo that pack of cards and you pull out those 54 cards from the one box, well, the one box and the 54 cards, that's 55. That's the wolf pack that we've been after, that's after us. But we can't figure it out because it's too simple. We made things complicated in order to have evolution. Not knowing, of course, that it's evolution at the time. We just wanted more. But more is evolution. More of the understanding of exterior and extremities of all directions, throughout all assets in life, of the mind, of the body. The deepness of the soul. Where does the soul go? Does anybody really know what it means to have a soul? Soul means to be alone. Soul means to have earth. Soul is at the bottom of your shoe. That means you're always touching one ground or another at one point. So somehow you're always connected with the soul, along with the spirit that brings you through this electronic world into the world of Zion in the heavens. The soul can now go. Have you ever watched Reboot? Oh, she's so beautiful. What was her name, the sprite? Andreas. Oh my God. I'd drop my girlfriend any day for her. She's gorgeous. She came out of the game. She entered into Enzo's reboot button, and she came out of the game. She found a way out. And that's the way we're leaving. Children's shows, books, rhymes, riddles, numbers, adult games, sports, setup, lineup, the way the points are scored. Whatever you want, man. It's as simple as satisfied on 10. You're never satisfied on 10. There's no such thing as 10. Why? 10 is a word. It's not a number. The number is 1 and 0 after it. It means the position of where the 0 is now in contact. So it can now restart. We already know the position of the 1 now next to the 0. Together they make a team. 10, you don't write 10. 10 doesn't exist. 10 is everything. And everything inside of something that you don't see. That's what makes 10. Because once you have 10, you have 11, you also have another level. You're at 1 again on the second level. You can't help it. It's the way in the build. It's the architecture. This is just a card, and I have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, right? But I do know what I'm talking about. There's an architecture in this. This is Mr. TacPans 7286. I hope you enjoyed this show this afternoon. Good night.